January 2024. That's when my world fell apart. She cheated. No apology, no explanation, just blame. And then silence. She blocked me on everything, leaving me with nothing but the crushing weight of her betrayal. For months, I felt like I was drowning, replaying every moment, wondering what I did wrong. The silence was deafening. The hurt was a constant, dull ache in my chest. I tried to move on, I really did. But the ghost of what she did haunted my every waking moment. I just couldn't shake it. Then came Halloween, a night for masks, for mystery, for becoming someone else. My friends were excited, planning their costumes, talking about parties. For the first time in a long time, an idea sparked within me. It wasn't about shouting or making a scene. It was about something quieter, something that would last longer than a single argument. I decided that this Halloween, I wouldn't just wear a costume. I would become a ghost from her past, a nightmare she wouldn't be able to forget. Revenge, I realized, didn't have to be loud. It could be a whisper in the dark. The costume had to be perfect. I spent weeks searching, finally finding exactly what I needed. A full-body skeleton suit, the kind that clings to you like a second skin. Realistic bony gloves that made my hands look alien and skeletal. And the mask. The mask was the masterpiece. A hyper-realistic latex skull that covered my entire head, erasing every trace of who I was. When I put it all on, I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. It was perfect. I was anonymous. I was a walking, breathing specter. The man she betrayed was gone, replaced by this chilling figure. The night of the party was a blur of sound and color. The music was so loud it vibrated through my bones. Strobe lights flashed, cutting through the artificial fog that filled the room. My friends were already a few drinks in, laughing and dancing, completely lost in the chaos of the celebration. I felt detached, an observer in my own life, my heart pounding a steady, cold rhythm against my ribs. I moved through the crowd, a silent skeleton weaving through a sea of monsters, clowns, and superheroes. And then I saw her. Across the room, bathed in the swirling red and blue lights, there she was. My ex. She wore a striking cat skull mask, her hair perfectly curled, just the way I remembered. She was laughing, dancing with her friends as if she didn't have a single care in the world, as if she hadn't shattered mine just a few months before. For a split second, the old pain flared up, a hot, bitter mix of anger and disbelief. But then, it was replaced by an icy calm. The plan solidified in my mind. Tonight, I wouldn't be the heartbroken ex. Tonight, I would be her own personal haunting. I started moving toward her, my steps deliberate and silent. The crowd was a perfect cover, parting for me and then closing in behind, swallowing my presence. She was in her own world, swaying to the music. I reached out a bony, gloved hand and gently tapped her on the shoulder. She turned around, a bright, easy smile on her face, completely oblivious. Her eyes scanned my costume, impressed, but there was zero recognition. To her, I was just another random person at a Halloween party. She had no idea who, or what, stood before her. I leaned into the role. I gave her a little wave, did a funny, jiggly skeleton dance. I was playing the part of a harmless, friendly stranger in a cool costume, and she bought it completely. She giggled, a sound that used to make my heart soar, but now just fueled my resolve. She formed a heart shape with her hands, a gesture she used to make for me. Then she beckoned me closer, motioning for me to dance with her. This was it. The stage was set. I was in. We danced. Under the strobing lights, surrounded by the thumping bass, it must have looked like any other party interaction. A skeleton and a cat skull girl, just two anonymous people enjoying the night. We moved together, and she was clearly enjoying the mystery of it all, the thrill of dancing with a complete stranger whose face she couldn't see. She was comfortable. She felt safe. That was her first mistake. The music pulsed, and for a few minutes, the world was just the two of us, moving in a strange, silent rhythm. Then she did something that sent a chill down my spine. She reached for her wrist and slipped off a beaded bracelet. It was the same style she used to wear when we were together, one of those cute handmade things she loved. With a playful gesture, she took my bony hand and slid the bracelet onto my wrist. She trusted the mask. She trusted the stranger. She had no idea she was giving a gift back to the person she'd thrown away. The irony was perfect. She had just handed me the final piece of my plan. My moment had arrived. I stopped dancing. I slowly pulled my phone out of a hidden pocket in my suit. Her head tilted, curious about what I was doing. I didn't say a word. I just unlocked the screen and pulled up a single photograph. It was a picture I'd taken months ago, back when things were good. It was a photo of her, sleeping peacefully in my bed, her face soft and unguarded. A picture only I could possibly have. I held the phone up for her to see. Her reaction was immediate and absolute. She froze mid-movement. Her breath hitched. The carefree smile on her face collapsed into a mask of pure confusion, which quickly twisted into horror. Her eyes, visible through her mask, went wide. She ripped her own cat skull mask off her face, desperate to see if she could make sense of what was happening. Her voice was a choked whisper, cracking with fear. Who are you?" she demanded, her eyes darting around frantically. I gave her no answer. My silence was the only response she needed. The skull mask remained impassive, unreadable, offering no comfort or explanation. I just held her gaze for one more chilling second, letting the realization sink in. Then I took a single deliberate step back, turned, and melted back into the pulsing crowd. The fog and the flashing lights were my accomplices, swallowing me whole just as she started to scream my name. She chased after me, shouting, but it was useless. The skeleton had vanished, leaving only a ghost behind. The next morning, it was all over her social media. A frantic post. If anyone knows a guy who was in a full skeleton costume at the party last night, please DM me. Someone followed me, showed me something really disturbing, and they knew things about me that they shouldn't. I read the post, then read it again, and I smiled. Not a big, triumphant smile, but a small, quiet, final one. My mission was complete. I hadn't yelled, I hadn't made a scene. I had simply held up a mirror to our past and let her be terrified by the reflection. Revenge wasn't loud. Revenge wasn't violent. My revenge was silent, unforgettable, and delivered from behind a skeleton mask. I didn't need her to apologize anymore. I didn't need an explanation. I had found my own closure in the dark. And now, she would have a new ghost to live with. A skeletal figure that would haunt her memories every time the leaves started to turn and the air grew cold. Now, she would fear Halloween forever. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.